Hey, you're back. Welcome. Let's talk about protocols today. A protocol is a set of rules that govern the connection, communication, and data transfer between computers on a network. These rules include guidelines that regulate the following characteristics of a network: access method, allowed physical topologies, types of cabling, and the speed of data transfer. Internet protocols, there are hundreds of internet protocols, and protocols that will be discussed further include HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP. Let's start with HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This is the protocol used by the World Wide Web that defines how messages are formatted and transmitted and what actions web servers and browsers should take in response to various commands. The protocol is built on top of TCP. The three main HTTP message types are GET, POST, and HEAD. Hypertext Transfer Protocol over Secured Socket Layer, HTTPS. This is a combination of normal HTTP interactions, but with a different default TCP port and an additional encryption authentication layer between the HTTP and TCP. This is widely used on the World Wide Web for security-sensitive communications such as payment transactions and corporate logons. It ensures reasonable protection from eavesdroppers and man-in-the-middle attacks. File Transfer Protocol, FTP. This is a network protocol used to transfer data from one computer to another through a network, such as the internet. This is a protocol for exchanging and manipulating files over any TCP-based computer network. An FTP client may connect to an FTP server to manipulate files on that server. Since there are many FTP clients and server programs available for different operating systems, FTP is a popular choice for exchanging files independent of the operating systems involved. And when we're talking about operating system, we're talking about Windows, the Mac OS, and even Linux. Network protocol. This defines rules and conventions for communication between network devices. Protocols for computer networking all generally use packet switching techniques to send and receive messages in the form of packets. Network protocols include mechanisms for devices to identify and make connection with each other. Formatting rules that specify how data is packaged into messages sent and received. Message acknowledgement and data compression designed for reliable and/or high-performance network communication. There are hundreds of different computer network protocols, and they've been developed, each designed for specific purposes and environments. The most common protocols include Ethernet, LocalTalk, Token Ring, and FDDI. Ethernet, this is the most widely used protocol, uses an access method called CSMA/CD. This stands for Carrier Sense Multiple Access Collision Detection, where each computer listens to the cable before sending anything through the network. If the network is clear, the computer will transmit. But if some other node is already transmitting on the cable, the computer will wait and try again when the line is clear. When two computers attempt to transmit at the same time, a collision occurs, and each computer then backs off and waits a random amount of time before attempting to retransmit. Delay caused by collisions and retransmitting is very small and does not normally affect the speed of transmission over the network. So with this type of access method, you could kind of think about it like driving on a one-way road. If you're on a one-way road, and this happens a lot of times when you have like very narrow bridges and it's a very small lane, you kind of have to look and see, is there somebody else coming? If nobody's coming, you can go ahead and go. If nobody looks, then two vehicles going in opposite directions might be trying to use that same lane and could collide with each other. Also allows for linear bus, star, and other tree topologies, and transmission speed is about 10 megabytes per second. Fast Ethernet. To allow for an increased speed of transmission, the Fast Ethernet protocol has developed a new standard that supports 100 megabytes per second, requires the use of different, more expensive network devices and cables. LocalTalk was developed by Apple for Macintosh computers. Method used by LocalTalk is called CSMA-CA, Carrier Sense Multiple Access with Collision Avoidance, which is similar to CSMA-CD, except that a computer signals its intent to transmit before it actually does so. So it sort of like announces, hey, I'm about to transmit. The Macintosh operating system allows the establishment of a peer-to-peer network without the need for additional software. With the addition of the server version of Apple Share software, a client-server network can be established. It allows for linear bus, star, or tree topologies, and the transmission speed is only about 230 kilobits per second. Token ring. This is a protocol developed by IBM in the mid-1980s. Access method used involves token passing, where computers are connected so that the signal travels around the network from one computer to another in a logical ring. A single electronic token moves around the ring from one computer to the next, and if a computer does not have information to transmit, it simply passes the token on to the next workstation. If a computer wishes to transmit and receive an empty token, it attaches data to the token, and the token then proceeds around the ring until it comes to the computer to which the data is meant. It does require a star wired ring, and transmission speed is 4 megabytes or Fiber Distributed Data Interface, FDDI. This is used primarily to interconnect two or more local area networks, often over large distances. Access method used by FDDI involves token passing. Transmission normally occurs on one of the rings. However, if a break occurs, the system keeps information moving by automatically using portions of the second ring to create a new complete ring. This does require a dual ring topology, and transmission speed is 100 megabytes per second. Network protocol summary. So your Ethernet protocol is going to use twisted pair coaxial fiber with 10 megabytes per second, and the topology is going to be linear bus, star, or tree. Your fast Ethernet is going to use twisted pair with 100 megabytes per second, and it uses a star topology. LocalTalk is going to use twisted pair for its cable, 23 kilobytes per second, linear bus or star topology. Your token ring is going to use twisted pair cable. And you can see the speed here listed on the screen, 4 megabytes to 16 megabytes, and a star wired ring for topology. Your FDDI is going to use fiber cable, 100 megabytes per second, and uses dual ring for its topology. Communication protocols, these are the rules for efficiently transmitting data from one network node to another. It does divide messages into packets. It affixes an address to the packet. It initiates transmission, regulates the flow of data, checks for transmission errors, and acknowledges receipt of the transmitted data. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a great day.